You're listening to the Tigers Den podcast. New episodes dropping every Monday at 3:30 p.m. Central Time, available to stream across all platforms. Also, be sure to check out Play Callers. New episodes dropping every Tuesday at 3:30 p.m. Central Time, available to stream across all platforms. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another episode of the Tigers Den podcast. We're so happy to have y'all listening to these episodes week in and week out. We love doing them for y'all. We're going to go ahead and get started with what will be episode 17. And this is actually only going to be a two-man episode. As you can tell already by my voice, it's been kind of a long weekend. But for our buddy Taylor, he had a little bit of a rough day yesterday at Show Choir Showdown. If y'all didn't know, AHS Mass Media had a broadcast for Show Choir's biggest, Reese, you're in Show Choir. You can probably explain it better than I can. But basically, it's a big event that we broadcast for. So it'll basically just be me and my buddy Reese Kinder today. On the docket, though, we got just some weekend rundown as usual. We also are going to do 2 top 10s for, an upcoming sport that people are excited for, and then a sport that's nearing the postseason that everybody's always excited for every year. And then also we're going to bring on a guy who's currently working with SEC Network as a sophomore in college on to be our prize picks guest picker today. All that and more on the Tigers Den podcast. But Reese, go ahead and get it started as you do every single week with the weekend rundown. Go ahead and take it away.
This is the weekend rundown.
How's it going, everybody? I'm going to get this episode started differently. We're not going to go with scores. We're not going to go with games coming up. We're going to go with Cam Newton, the best boxer in the NFL.
Yeah. Turned into Prime Muhammad Ali. Yeah.
Yeah, he's on blast now after getting into a brawl in his 7-on-7 tournament today. And, a guy that used to play for the Panthers gets in a brawl like this, you don't really see it a lot, but so a guy just came up and confronted Cam. Cam didn't like something he said, and then Cam tried to fight him, and then they got in a big altercation, and then just punches were being thrown, and Cam did end up winning. He 1v8. I think he 1v8 people. I don't even know. He had a lot of people against him. But it was bad.
Yeah. So I actually just heard about this when Reese was telling me about it, literally when we were prepping for the show, just a couple minutes ago. But I want to talk about more of. I've seen the videos on Twitter now. Looking at it, Cam might need to do UFC. He might be top 32 in UFC, but not in NFL right now. But no, seriously, Cam.
NFL, he sucks.
Yeah, that's what I want to talk about is the side of Cam Newton's 34. He has a podcast, and he's fighting in, literal, 7-on-7 street fights, basically.
What are you doing?
What are you
doing?
Yeah, if anything, does this officially put the period, end the sentence of Cam Newton's football career? Is he done?
Yes, I mean, he just ruined his chance to ever go back. He wants to go to the NFL.
Because as an Auburn man myself, I obviously want the best for him, Cam Newton going to the Panthers literally made everybody and their mother at least somewhat of a Panthers fan in the Auburn area.
I have a feeling he's the one that started it, honestly, because he usually does. He usually starts it.
I haven't seen the full clip, to be quite honest with you. I've just seen the screenshot of him having a guy in a headlock while still beating up this other guy.
Here, I got it. I could play it, but
if you want to play the audio for the fans,
it's gonna have a sound on it though. It's gonna have There's one video that has it has music with it, so it's okay. I don't know. You won't.
Well, then we'll hold off on that, but y'all can go look it up on Twitter or anything. But yeah, no, I think Cam Newton, his career is
ended his football career.
Yeah,
to 7-on-7, or maybe try to go to the UFL.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, hey, Cam Newton in his prime, yes, he was one of the most entertaining, electrifying QBs of all time. I will say that's hands down. But you're 34. You have a podcast. You're beating up people in the street. Like this has all the signs of my career's over.
Yeah,
That's all I gotta say.
but I'm also gonna just stick to some news topics. This morning, I don't know if anybody got a chance to see at 10 a.m. this morning. Cody Bellinger is returning to the Chicago Cubs on a 3-year, $80 million deal after a bounce back season. Cody Bellinger, if you didn't see the numbers, in 2023, he had 499 at bats, had a 307 average, 26 home runs, 20 stolen bases, and an 881 OPS. So, Cody Bellinger, Cubs getting him back really will help their playoff chances. Last year we saw them choke at the end of the year to make a playoff push after they got swept by the Braves in Atlanta. So that's good for the Cubs to get a guy like that back, especially with you know some of their guys. Or they actually got some good additions in the offseason too. So you know,
Yeah, no,
um,
great for the Cubs. I mean, this is a team that coming into this year, they've been kind of ever since they won that World Series a couple years ago, they've kind of just been in the realm of mid, They haven't really been able to, push past that, mid-level area. But now, I mean, signing a guy back to your team like Cody Bellinger, I mean, that helps your playoff chances, like you said, a long shot, like a big in a big way.
yeah. And then the next storyline is the Mets hit another speed bump with their pitching. The Mets ace pitcher Cody Senega receives a shoulder injection and he is shut down for the next 3 weeks. You
Jeez.
know, the Mets, I'm a Braves fan. I've seen their poverty franchise too many times. But, the Mets just continue to deal with issues. You kind of got to feel sorry for them, If you're a Braves fan, you got to feel sorry for them because they just, they can't win. They're just a losing team. But, the Mets, that's not good for them, especially with after Pete Alonso even said he doesn't even want to be on their team anymore uh, starting this year.
Oh dang.
Yeah, he said he wants to be a free agent after this year, and he doesn't want to do it because he doesn't want to be on the team anymore because they're just giving up and waiting till for another 3 years to contend in the postseason.
I mean, that's
So
not what, yeah, that's not what you want to hear from one of your top players.
yeah, and then the last headline before I get into the weekend scores is: will court storming be banned or not?
Oh, okay. So we're getting into some of the big topics. All right.
And this is an article from Jeff Eisenberg. He's a senior writer for Yahoo Sports. He says he doesn't expect college hoops to ban court storming, but after what I saw um, on Saturday when Duke's Kyle Filipowski got injured, I think we might need to reconsider some things. I think we might need to, just we might need to let the other team get off the court and then you can storm the court. It might be weird at first, but I think that's what we need to do because if not, we've already seen it twice, maybe more than that this year. Caitlin Clark got ran over, and then Kyle Filipowski got his ankle stepped on, and then there's been so many problems with court storming this year. It's not good.
Yeah. So I'll go and I didn't know that we were getting in to this topic this soon, but I'll go and state my piece. So first off, in my opinion, there's 100% no reason, no justifiable reason that you can tell me for a player getting injured after the game is over. Like there's just no just by a fan, not something like at practice, not he tripped over like a chair or something like that. No, a fan ran into him and he got injured. That's never justifiable. I don't care, what you say.
Yeah,
However, if you
and
yeah, go ahead.
and it could be these players are saying that it could be intentional because what I'm reading here it says Um, this is the third or fourth paragraph in this article. It says nothing changed when a New Mexico State player exchanged punches with on rushing fans, or when Ohio State's Jared Sullinger accused a Wisconsin fan of spitting on him last year, or the unruly Kansas State fans taunted and body checked Kansas players, and then the Des Moines Register columnist fractured his tibia and fibula after getting knocked to the ground.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, here's what I'll say though. Did you see the overhead shot of
Uh,
Kyle Filipowski? They released an overhead shot, and it showed that, and this was similar to the Caitlin Clark situation. And here's the thing: Filipowski has every right to do this. This fan is running at him, but Filipowski reaches his arms out to shove the guy. You know, which I mean, in that case, like I said, he has every right to do that. But in that case, you shouldn't be the one that's engaging like he was. And also, here's the other thing that's really upsetting to me as well is that he knew that they're about to storm the court. You know, all the Duke players. If you saw Jared McCain, you know Malik Mitchell, all the Duke players around him, they were as soon as they were getting ready to inbound the ball, they could tell that Wake Forest was getting ready to storm the court because it's a 4-point game, 2.4 seconds to go. Like the game was over.
yeah.
They were already getting ready to go ahead and head to the locker room because they didn't want to get trampled. You know, meanwhile, Filipowski, center of the court, slowly walking over, to the locker room.
Well, I think it would have been worse if he would have ran. It would have been he would have probably like. It
I
would have
understand
been
that, but he could have went ahead and started making his way towards that side of the court. And you see what I'm saying? Like he
yeah.
could have done stuff that did prevent this. Now, should this be a situation we're ever in? Absolutely not.
Yeah, no,
So
I don't think they should ban court storming. I mean,
no.
it's what brings the game to life. Like just
I
like
was about to say, yes, it's one of the things that makes college sports. It's one of the reasons that we love it so much because of the tradition, because of the hometown feel. Like if you're one of those college kids and you're at Wake Forest and you get a generational win for your university like this one, this is like what you do. Like it's tradition. Like it's something
yeah,
that you do. And every time, except for this one, it's always a thing of excitement, but this one is not the case. What in my opinion, what they should do is first off, security needs to do their job. Okay, I don't think that I don't think they should be allowed on the field, on the court or the field in football as well until all of the athletes and athletic staff and all of them are in the locker rooms. Then
yeah.
you
That's
can go
what
out,
that's
you
what I'm
know.
saying. They need to kind of just like let them get
Or
off, and
at,
then you can storm it.
yeah, at least the away team. Let the away team get to their locker rooms and stuff because obviously they're not wanting to party in the like they just lost. So because the big part of it is also these students, they have friends on the team. Like they
Yeah,
know these guys. They're guys that they might have known in high school. Especially at smaller schools. Not saying Wake Forest is a small school by any means, but you get what I'm saying. These are guys that they could have known for a while, and they're seeing them experience this incredible moment. Yeah, they want to party, and I get it. But just let your opponent. It's just a matter of respect. You do
yeah,
something like this as Wake Forest, it makes you think if you're like if I'm words sorry if I'm the Duke head coach, if I'm John Shire, and if I'm the Duke organization, this tells me, okay, I see how it is. It almost makes it seem like it was like a rivalry game, which Duke Wake Forest, yeah, they're both ACC, but
and they're
this is
both
no
in
way.
North Carolina as well.
Yeah, exactly. It makes it seem like okay, we have a problem. Like you're storming on, hitting my player. Like it's just a matter of respect. It's that's all it is. But ultimately, at the end of the day, I do think this will all blow over. Like I don't think it's gonna be because I look at ESPN. Like there's not a lot of opinions. There Saturday time you would see the clip and they would talk about it. But I think this will blow over ultimately. I think they should. make it to where you have to wait until the opposing team's off the court. But I don't think that would be bad. I don't. I just don't think. I just don't see that.
Yeah. Well, getting away from that, Caitlin Clark
Yep.
gets a 16th triple double
I'm.
and nears
Yeah.
more records.
I don't want to speak about her as much because I'll be discussing her a little bit later. But yeah,
Okay.
Caitlin Clark, absolute athlete. I mean, generational talent. You know what I want to bring up real quick? Hold up. Let me pull it up. You
Let him cook.
Yeah, let me cook. Let me cook. Cause I was kind of talking to you about this earlier. Jay Williams. Jay Williams has been on a absolute L streak, in my opinion, recently. Because
Yes.
first off, there was the Alabama Auburn game when he was talking about Jalen Milroe. So if y'all don't know, during the Alabama Auburn game, basketball game, and you remember this, right, Reese? The lights went out.
Yeah.
Basketball game. They had to, milk some clock. They had to kind of stall, if you will. ESPN did. And so what they did was they noticed Jalen Milroe in the crowd and were like, hey, okay, this is a perfect opportunity that we could, have to interview this, star quarterback for one of the schools that's competing tonight. And the thing he opened it with was, Jalen Milroe as a black QB at the University of Alabama. How are you breaking boundaries, to just whatever, something like that. That's the first thing he opened up with. And even Jalen Milroe was stun locked. He was like, I mean, let's see the last couple of Bama quarterbacks. All right. Bryce Young, African American. Tua Tagovailoa. He ain't white. I'll say that. He ain't white. Mac Jones. I mean, I've heard a couple people say, he can go both ways.
Okay.
But other than that, Jalen Hurts, if you want to go back, Phil Simms. I mean, I just don't know what he's talking about. Like, it just seems like he doesn't know what he's talking about. But not only that, let me go ahead and play this clip for y'all. Yeah, so let me just play this clip.
Let's take a look at Made History, presented by State Farm. And Caitlin Clark did indeed make history. Program high, fewer than 100.
Hold up.
College basketball typically don't get.
Let me skip to
this season that she has put fans in arenas for her. There's also
All right.
I think she is.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, listen to this stupidity. Okay.
She has been able to do.
Just listen to this.
I think she is the Stephen Curry of women's college basketball.
God.
The dynamics of the way the game is played. I think the way she.
Nope, just let him cook. That wasn't even it.
Is like she's probably where the game of basketball has ever seen.
Unmatched.
I am unwilling, and maybe it's more the Kobe mentorship around me, to say that she is great yet. I think she's the most prolific scorer.
She's not great yet. She has broken the single season points record in women's college basketball history. She's on the verge. She's going to break Pete Marajovich's record. Like, I'm sorry. She's going to. Okay?
Yeah.
She's going to be the highest scoring player in college basketball history, men's or women's. All right? She has literally brought 3 times the amount of eyes to the sport of women's college basketball than any other player has ever had. Am I wrong? Correct me if I'm wrong, Reese. Okay?
I'm not wrong.
But she's not great yet. So
Has ever seen?
keep listening.
I hold great, or the levels of immortality, or the pantheon. That's just me.
When you win championships, when you're great. So Dan Marino, I guess he was just like, he was okay. Completely changed the way we talk about air raid offenses, of all time. But he's just okay. Allen Iverson, completely, reinvented the point guard position, at least for the early 2000s, where you could be flashy and score and not only just be a facilitator and passer, but he was just okay. You know, Charles Barkley, a guy who's in attendance because this was at the Auburn versus Kentucky College game day. You know, he's all right. Uh, completely just inspired the next generation of power forwards into being more big men rather than trying to go outside and be a stretch four. You don't have to be a stretch four. Charles Barkley proved that, but he's just all right. Like what are we talking about here, man? Like
Yeah.
I don't understand. Like if you're obviously this is a podcast, so you can't see visually, but if you watch that show, literally the graphic under him is Caitlin Clark, 3,569 career points, women's D1 record, scored or assisted on 79 points versus Michigan. One game, she scored or assisted on 79 points. That's the most by any D1 player over the last 25 years. She's just okay. Let me just check and see if there's any more stupidity in this clip. But my goodness, like
when you win 3 consecutive championships, 2-time National Player of the Year, it has to culminate.
Now, don't confuse this as me saying, "Oh, Diana Taurasi is not good." Simply just because she won championships, she didn't break any points record. No, I'm not saying it should go either way. You break records, you're great. You win championships, you're great. You do either or, you're great. I don't know why we have to get this thing like, oh, until you win a ring, you're not, you can't be saying the top tier.
Yeah, that's why
Like
Stephen A. Smith said Damian Lillard isn't good, and he hasn't.
exactly. Like I guess Chris Paul. Chris Paul's just he's alright. He's mid. Chris Paul. One of the guys that literally he's just been great where he's gone. All-star basically every year he's played.
Yeah.
But he's just all right. Nicknamed CP3, but it's just all right. I mean,
Breanna Stewart, if we're talking about GOAT legends of the game, she's won 4 chips. Multiple National Players of the Year. So
now, if you want to compare Caitlin Clark's career to, say, Diana Taurasi or Breanna Stewart or even Plum, Kelsey Plum, the lady that she surpassed, Plum did championships when she was in college. So you want to have that conversation, we can. And honestly, I would swing towards Breanna Stewart having a better college career than Caitlin Clark because she won 4 championships. Every year she played, she won a championship. But let's not act like neither of these women are great.
Yeah.
Like I don't see why we have to have this extreme of, oh, you need to get this, and this before you can be GOAT level. Like I just don't understand it. But that's enough. I don't want to hear any more of his voice. But yeah, our first ever soundbite on play callers. Probably one of the dumbest things you'll ever hear in sports media. But sorry, went on a little bit of a tangent there.
On a rant.
Yeah. So.
But now we're gonna get into a little bracketology.
Ooh. Okay. Are we talking men's or women's? Because I like both.
Both.
Oh, all
both.
Right.
We're gonna get into both.
Hit me with it.
We're gonna get into some scenarios as well. So, men's bracketology did come out Friday. The next one will come out this Tuesday. But your top overall seed as of Friday is Purdue, obviously.
Mm.
I don't know why it's not UConn. It makes no sense.
Yeah. Or Houston. I mean.
Yeah, one of them could be. Still haven't decided yet. And then first team out for men is Wake Forest.
Dang.
Wake Forest with the win against Duke probably will go from first team out to like last 4 buys.
Yeah, no, Wake Forest is good. I mean, if you haven't watched Wake Forest,
yeah,
they're good.
Even their fans are good. Like for real.
Bruh.
But Texas A&M last team in.
Didn't they lose to Tennessee? I mean, they're 15-12.
They're what?
They're 15-12 overall.
How are they in there? What the heck?
Stuff.
Yeah, where's Georgia though? Where's Georgia?
I mean, yeah, that's
but Where's Georgia? Georgia's 16-11, I
Yeah.
think.
Well, 15-12 as well because they lost to the Tigers.
Oh, yeah.
But
I'll call Auburn.
but
But no, on the
keep going.
bubble though is like your last four bye teams, your four teams that you have: Northwestern, Nebraska, Virginia, and Nevada. And then your last four in is Seton Hall, Providence, Gonzaga, Texas A&M. Your first four out: Wake Forest, Ole Miss, Utah, and Butler. And then next four out is Villanova, Drake, Cincy, and Colorado.
Mm, yeah.
So I mean, these are some pretty good teams on the bubble right now.
Oh, for sure. I mean, listen, this year in college basketball, we kind of talked about it last time we were on here, and we kind of mention it at least once every show.
Yeah.
No teams can win on the road. Like,
No.
look at Duke. They've lost to Georgia Tech, Arkansas, and Wake Forest on the road.
But
You know,
the thing about March is it
yeah,
doesn't matter because you're
well,
not on.
here's the
Yeah.
thing. You're not, you're not at home. You're definitely not at home. So, in my opinion, if you're not at home, you're basically on the road. I mean, neutral.
Only way you're at home is if you play like near
Yeah, if you play,
close. Yeah.
but still, I mean, I don't know, man. I feel like this is a year where, I mean, last year we even saw it. San Diego State made it to the championship. I feel like
Yeah.
this is a year where any team one to like 7, I think has a chance. I just
Yeah.
do. I just do. 100%.
Well, I mean, here's your 68 team bracket. So you're playing games as of right now. These are the automatic qualifiers as well. The playing games as of right now, this team did win their conference last year. Merrimack and Norfolk State would be the first 16 playing game. The second 16 playing game would be South Dakota State and Grambling State. And then your two 11s that would face off would be Seton Hall and Gonzaga. And then your two 12s that would face off would be Providence and Texas A&M.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that Providence A&M game would be exciting.
Yes, that would be
A&M
good.
A&M is just weird because I mean, like some nights they just can't shoot the ball. Like I
Yeah.
don't get it. Like they just can't get the ball in the net. Like when they played Auburn, Auburn did not play a good game. Whenever they played A&M at home, I was at that game. I know. Auburn, they just allowed A&M to stay in the game, but it wasn't because A&M was making shots. It's because Auburn was missing shots and making turnovers. So yeah, I don't know. I just can't trust this A&M team night in, night out.
Yeah, and
Like,
I think the Seton Hall Gonzaga game would be good too. Seton Hall,
oh yeah,
they're a good team.
yeah, and
You gotta watch out.
it just feels so weird saying Gonzaga, not in
Yeah, in
in
the
an
bubble,
11.
in the
Yeah,
bubble right now.
I mean, because they've always been, one of those top teams recently. One of those
Yeah,
consistently top teams. But I mean, hey, if you're good in March, you have a good like your season's good if you're good in March. That's what I say. So,
all
I
right, the
mean,
plan here is what we're gonna do is we're gonna do a brief breakdown of each region, and we're gonna just say what sneaky teams we think are in that region. Just when I name off some teams, just like brief rundown of what you
let's
think
do it.
that. Um, First region, Midwest region is the final destination is Detroit.
Okay,
Um, your number one seed in this region will be Purdue.
gotcha.
Um, in Indianapolis, So that's going to be like a home environment right there. I know
Yeah.
you. I don't know if you got a chance. Did you see on Instagram today the Purdue and Michigan game? The crowd was like the Purdue fans were insane.
I did not, but I mean,
It was
I'm not
at
surprised.
Michigan. It was
First
at
off,
Michigan.
yeah, Michigan's a dumpster fire right now. I don't know why anybody would go see a Jawan Howard coach team right now.
He
But
tried to
yeah,
fight the ref,
yeah, exactly.
but
So
turned into Cam Newton.
yeah, but I don't. No, yeah, good for them. I mean, that's going to be one of the differences in the NCAA tournament. That's why I actually feel like Auburn will actually have a good chance, especially since
Yeah,
they just showed that they can win on the road. Uh, I feel like the fans do. Auburn fans do show out away. I know I'm one of them. And these big blue bloods, that's one of the reasons they're always good in March is because their fans show up. You know,
But
so
will this be like last year? Will Purdue lose to like Norfolk State or Merrimack if they played them, like how they did to FDU last year?
well, here's the thing. Um, and this is something I'll always say about Purdue until I stop seeing them lose to Northwestern. I'll keep saying it. Uh, Purdue doesn't have many tricks up their
No.
sleeve. They have Zach Edey, Braden Smith can sometimes get going, but outside of that, like you could replace most of their players with other players from other schools, and it'd be basically the same picture. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it's if the other team is able to deny the ball to your team, to Zach Edey. Sorry, losing my train of thought. If they're able to deny the ball to Zach Edey, I mean, I don't know.
That's what
I don't know what Purdue is able to do if Zach Edey's gets stopped.
that's what FDU did last year. They picked the perfect game plan and it ended up working.
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying. It's like if you're able to stop that, giant giant, Zach Edey alien, then you're good. I feel like.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. I just feel like Purdue there's no way they do it 2 years in a row. There's absolutely no way. Like
Yeah.
there's just no way. So Purdue will get past the first round, but what happens when they go up against like a Seton Hall? What happens when they go up against like a Providence? What
Speaking of
happens when they go up
teams,
against a decent team, not a great team? So it's not like, oh, this is the biggest matchup. Like we need to be on our A game. What happens when they go up against a team like Florida?
yes,
Team
speaking of
like a team like Florida that could lock you down on defense and be able to score in transition. Like, what happens then? Because
yeah,
Purdue, I hate to break it to you, but Purdue, they're very well coached, but my goodness, they are turnover prone. Like they are very turnover prone, and it's expected because they're trying to toss it into Zach Edey every other play.
yeah.
Like what? I mean, but I still think Purdue. I mean, you'll see where I have them in top 10. They're obviously a really good team, but I just don't know. I just don't know.
Yeah, but speaking of teams that could run with them, the next two teams that would face off against them, whoever wins this game that would face off against them, the 8 and 9 in this region are Oklahoma and New Mexico, which are both very talented basketball teams. And
Exactly. Like Oklahoma, for example, team that anybody on their team can score. You know, like they're almost the opposite of Purdue, where they don't have a Zach Edey. They don't have a Braden Smith, and that can just take over a game. But they have Otega Owe. They have
yeah,
these other guys. I can't
Lance
think of.
Loveland or Lance Loveland.
Yeah, exactly. Lance Lim is 3 minutes a game. But they're a team that they're gonna be physical and they're not easy to beat.
Yeah,
You
and then like
know,
New Mexico plays in a Mountain West conference that has very good talent. Like there's like you got San Diego State, you got Utah State, you got um Boise State. You have
yeah,
like all those teams I just mentioned are gonna make the tournament. Like there's
yeah.
no doubt.
So we'll see. I mean, yeah, we'll
Yeah.
see. I mean, I'm excited for March Madness. I always am, but
Yeah,
extra
no, I'm
excited
I'm
this year.
pumped for this one. This one's gonna be the best one, I think. This
Yeah,
one's gonna be like one of the best to talk about for years.
100%.
And then in the Salt Lake area, this will be Dayton versus McNeese State and Baylor versus UC Irvine. I don't really see McNeese State or UC Irvine making a game out of this for any of the teams. Dayton will probably blow them out of the water. UC Irvine might keep up a little bit, but I don't think they'll beat Baylor. Baylor's really good.
I'm not gonna lie. I don't really buy into the Dayton hype. I mean, I've watched them play. Dayron Holmes, that's a problem.
I
Like
mean, they
that's a
are they are in like a decent conference though.
I mean, A10, yes, they're a decent conference, but St. Louis ain't even good this year, dog.
Yeah,
Like
but if
who
you
else?
look at the history though of the A10, like VCU,
Yeah, the history.
yeah,
But I mean, I remember the year that St. Louis beat Auburn. Like I know like they are no team to mess with. Like Davidson, like is always somewhere. They're always pretty good. But
Dayton's
this
always
year,
really good.
like Richmond last year, or was it last year? Or the year before they upset Iowa in the first round of it as a
The year
12.
before, year before.
So I know this. But that being said, um, yeah, I don't. I've watched them play, and they're a team that Dayron Holmes. That's a problem. That's a top 20 pick in the
Yeah,
NBA draft. But outside of that, I mean, I don't. I just don't know. I
yeah,
mean, you
you
got.
can't keep it with one player. I mean, like you said with Purdue, you can't keep it with one player. So I mean,
Yeah, I see Baylor and I see Jacoby Walter. I see Langston Love. I see Rage Dennis. I see Eve Misi, who I mean had a tough weekend this week. I mean, my goodness, you miss a wide open layup and then you miss a free throw, but either could have won the game. But still, he's a problem. He's going to be in the NBA. Like I see this team with depth, and I just automatically trust it in a tournament that is so deep and takes so much willpower and so much, playing just at your best level for so many consecutive games. And that's the team I trust. Dayton, I see
yeah,
Daron Holmes. Can you name another player?
no,
Exactly. Like, that's what I'm saying. And I'm not even trying to say, oh, because they're a small school. Like, you look at other teams. I mean, there are other teams out there uh, that you can name so many different players, like Florida Atlantic. Now, obviously, this year they're still doing pretty good, but not as I would say not as good as last year, but they're still doing pretty good. But like you can name so many of these guys: Elijah Martin, Vlad Golden, John L. Davis. Like you can name all these guys because if you watch them play, each of these guys is putting up double digits at least once every 2 games. You know,
yeah,
and so, but yeah, that's all I'm gonna say.
yeah. And then like in the next, well, I think honestly, just like one quick thing before I go to the next little section.
Yeah,
Um, McNeese State is coached by Will Wade,
yeah, hmm
who used to be LSU's former coach. So, and they aren't that bad either. They've beat some teams that are in March or gonna be in March
yeah,
matchup.
hmm
But in the Memphis region, as of right now, your 6 seed is St. Mary's. Your 11 seed is Indiana State. I can't wait for that matchup.
hmm
If that actually happens. Your 3 seed is Alabama, and your 14 seed is High Point.
yeah. I don't know much about High Point. I know what's his name, Davia or something like that. That goes to Indiana State. He kind of looks like me, but he's out there balling. But you got St. Mary's has been like on and off this year. They got the one kid, what's his name, Mahaney or whatever it is, who's really good. He's a dog, but out of these four, I trust Alabama. Like,
That's if they're still there.
well, yeah, they're making the tournament, dog.
I'm saying,
Like,
well, I know they're making the tournament. I'm saying I think
oh yeah, no, I mean,
there's a
but I'm
chance they
saying
could go back.
theoretically, if this is what happens, like this is the team that isn't that what we're doing? You know, we
Yeah,
also kind of we do kind of got to speed this up because we have our guest picker. I told him 9:30 is when we were gonna put him on call. So, but
okay.
yeah, I'd take Alabama 100%. Mark Sears. I mean, Mark Sears. I know Grant Nelson, that giant in the paint, hasn't. He's been on and off, but I mean, this is a team that can fill it up. I don't see High Point scoring 80 points.
No.
I don't see them scoring it at least against Bama. You know, um, so, but I see Bama scoring 90 at least against High Point. So give
Yeah,
me Bama.
then your other Indianapolis teams will be Washington State, Northwestern, Marquette, and Morehead State. And then now we're gonna go into the East region.
Okay.
And then I'm just gonna go like super quick on these. We don't
Gotcha.
even have to do it like
No,
anymore.
yeah. Yeah.
The Brooklyn or in Brooklyn, it will be UConn, Eastern Kentucky, Florida Atlantic, TCU, and then in Spokane, it's gonna be Texas Tech, Samford, San Diego State, Yale, And then in Omaha, it's going to be Kentucky, who did drop, by the way. They dropped a seed.
Huh.
And then Grand Canyon, Iowa State, and Oakland. I don't know much about Oakland. Charlotte, this will be a fun one if this actually happens. It will be South Carolina, Nevada, North Carolina, and Colgate.
Mm, yeah.
And then your Los
Yeah. That's a
Angeles,
one.
yeah, and then your Los Angeles region, which is going to be in Salt Lake, to start off. Arizona versus the winner of South Dakota State and Grambling State, and then Texas, Boise State, and then in Brooklyn as well, you have Wisconsin, Richmond, Auburn, and Appalachian State.
So
That's
here's the yeah. The
funny.
tough part is Auburn lost to Appalachian State. You
Yeah.
know, earlier this year. If we got that, if that would be a terrible draw. If that's what happens. I'm telling you, dog. Like any of these, 13 seeds, 13 seeds, 12 seeds, 11 seeds, like they could all make a decent run. Like I'm not saying Final Four. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying they can make a decent run.
Yeah. And then in Pittsburgh, it's going to be BYU versus Seton Hall and the winner of Gonzaga, and then Creighton has moved up to a 3 seed now.
Yeah, Creighton. I mean, you beat UConn by 20 plus. Yeah, you're moving up. You're
And
moving
then
up.
the College of Charleston is 14. And then in Omaha, again, will be Florida, Nebraska, Kansas, and Eastern Washington.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man. I've watched this Florida team play. I mean,
Yeah.
they're gonna be trouble.
And then in the Memphis region, this is the South region now. In Memphis, you'll have Houston, Sam Houston, and then Utah State and Mississippi State. And then in Spokane, you'll have Clemson versus the winner of Providence and Texas A&M. And then you'll have Illinois versus Akron. And then in Pittsburgh, you will have Colorado State, South Florida, and then Duke and Vermont. And then Indianapolis for capping off the last region. You'll have Michigan State, Virginia, Tennessee, and Quinnipiac.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, obviously that's not gonna be the same. Come March.
No,
But
this is going to change every week.
yeah. So obviously it's not gonna be the same. But I will say, hey, buckle your seatbelts, get ready because I mean, this is gonna be one heck of a tournament. That's what I'll
All
say.
right. This is the last one. This is the women's one. Just
Gotcha.
a brief rundown. This one's going to be exciting.
Yeah. Let's
If
just do like what's your like what are some of our I'm pulling it up too. What are some of our teams to watch, from each big area, you know what I mean?
obviously from
Just cuz we're a little pressure time. So,
yeah,
uh,
obviously in the Albany one region in Columbia, you're going to have, South Carolina obviously.
yeah, I
Um
mean, yeah.
oh god. Why does this happen? Why do we have to be in the same thing? If it's South Carolina, it's great. Um, another team to watch. This is not bias, but another team to watch is the Auburn women's basketball team.
Yeah. I
We've
mean,
seen it firsthand in person. This team can play. Like I
I mean,
mean,
I was shadowing, today, Britt Bowen, shout out him, the voice of the Auburn softball and women's basketball teams. But, yeah, this is a team that on the right night, I mean, I really truly do think they can beat anybody. You know,
yeah, they
um,
they have it. I mean, you
I will
saw it
say,
at
yeah,
LSU.
one thing that impressed me today was um not, because obviously it wasn't a high scoring game at all. Our defense was locked down. But what impressed me was we made shots when we needed to make them. Like towards the end of that game, for example. You remember,
Yeah,
we were like literally 2.5 minutes left to go, up by like 10, so the game's not out of it yet. We still need to have a couple good possessions. Literally 3 straight possessions. We milked the clock all the way down to about 5 seconds to go and then scored a bucket. Like
yeah.
each time, scored a tough contested bucket that ultimately put the game away. I mean, that's something that, not a lot of teams can do.
Yeah, I mean, if you're listening to this podcast, the Auburn women's basketball team is, as of now, they're 17-10. and Thursday night they will be playing Mississippi State at Auburn Arena for the final
Home game.
game of
Yeah.
a final home game of the regular season. And if they win that, I mean,
Yeah.
we're
Oh,
going
I
dancing.
think if
We're,
they
we're
win that, they're
dancing.
a lock. Yeah.
Yeah, we're dancing if that happens. Like we're
Yeah. So
we're grittying to
okay, but
we're
okay.
grittying to Blacksburg. That's
Okay,
where we're
buddy.
going.
But
Charlie
no,
Cream,
yeah.
put us in. Put us
If
in
I had to
right now.
say one team though to watch, I mean, in this entire thing, um,
South Carolina. I'm kidding. No.
well, I mean that's the obvious one, but I'm saying like a not obvious one.
USC maybe.
USC's good. I mean, I watched Juju Watkins as a star. I mean, like she scored what 51 in the game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
more like Juju Smith-Schuster. I'm like,
Okay. But I
who's that?
feel
Who's that?
like I genuinely feel like what's it called? UConn at 3 is dangerous. Like UConn, obviously they haven't been what they once were when they had that long winning streak, but they're still a team that they can play Paige Beckers. I
Yeah.
hate to say it, but LSU at number 4. I mean,
Grr.
yeah, I'm sorry, but they are
Yeah, no,
a
they're
team
they're
that.
Final Four team.
Yeah, exactly. They're a good team, and
I mean,
them being at
who's that
4.
Auburn girl? She scored 66 points.
Who?
Did
Huh?
you see that?
Who did?
Somebody tweeted on Twitter and they said, "Who's that Auburn girl? She scored 66 points."
Oh, are you talking about Honesty Scott Grayson?
No, they thought that Auburn was a person
Oh,
when they were watching the game. They thought it was a person, and they
bruh.
said, "Who's that Auburn girl?"
Man, that's Twitter, bruh.
I was
Twitter.
like, "What the?" I
Yeah,
was
man.
like, "Y'all do not know what you're talking about." It's like,
Yeah, but if I had to call it right now, I mean, you'll hear it in my next segment, which is coming up right after this. But I think Iowa can honestly go all the way.
yep.
So, yeah.
But someone else that can go all the way.
Don't say it.
Oh no, I do think I honestly no not I'm not trying to be biased, but I do think that if this team plays good, like if the Auburn women's basketball team played good on any given night, like if they play really good, they could make it to the Sweet 16.
Hey, this is what I'll say, to cap it off. For Auburn women's basketball, they broke I don't know if y'all saw this. I mean, Miri Reese saw it because it was shown at the game, but broke the all-time attendance record in the season for the university. And it's not even, there's still one more game to go. So, that being said, Auburn, I got to be honest with you, Reese. They're not the favorite to win it all this year. Like obviously,
Yeah,
and there's a chance that they don't. But what I will say is something that Britt Bowen said in his post game interview with Coach Harris when asking about the attendance record. He said, "quote um, you know, coming here, what was it, 2-3 years ago?
yeah,
She she said if I build it, they'll come, and they have come now, and so now the thing is, okay, she's built it. People are coming to see it. People have hopes for this team. Now, what's she gonna do with it? You already see
yeah,
next year bringing in some promising prospects.
yeah.
Soraya Daniel,
I
you
think
know,
it's Jakia Howard. I think is her
yeah,
name.
Jakia Howard. I mean, some very promising
Soraya
prospects.
Daniels.
Coach Harris is building something. Auburn University. Watch out. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, and then just also one more thing, just you know, just to the fans that decided to show up. I mean, means the world because I've been a fan since I've been a fan for 7 years now. At first it was just oh yeah, just go to the games for fun, but then it's turned into a relationship with these players, with coaches and everything. Just it's a special bond, and it's been incredible this season. This is one of the best seasons we've ever had. And I'm really gonna miss some of the people. Honesty's leaving after this year. Jemiah's leaving. Taylon's leaving. Carson's leaving. It's been a fun ride with all these amazing people in the Auburn women's basketball organization. And can't wait for next year. What great things will come in this team. I think there's a chance next year we could make it deeper in the tournament if we make it this year. I mean, can't wait. Can't wait to see what the rest of the season has in store.
I mean, this is what's we talked about it kind of on our last episode. This is what's great about sports, we if y'all listen to Play Callers episode that's coming out tomorrow, we kind of talked about it at the end of the show. Kind of got a little bit emotional, but kind of in a jokey, funny way. Because the special guest we had on is a jokey, funny guy. We've been connected to Auburn High School sports this year through AHS Mass Media, what we're doing this for and stuff like that. And it's special to me because I'm a senior heading out in a couple months now. But
Yeah, it's getting close to 3 months.
yeah, exactly. You get close to a team and you never want to leave, and then all of a sudden it's over. But took a little bit of an emotional turn there. But Reese, is there anything else in the rundown of the weekend?
Nope. That was like the longest weekend rundown we've ever done.
Yeah. Hey, it was good though. We covered a lot of stuff. You got dumb J Will takes and you got bracketology. All
and
right,
you got
now we're
Cam Newton boxing.
yeah, exactly. And Cam Newton becoming prime Conor McGregor.
Who is this week's MMVP?
Now we're gonna move on to my segment, which is gonna be MMVP today, and I've already kind of mentioned it, but Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark is great. Okay. Prior to what some other people will say, this woman is, in my opinion, at least top 10 in women's basketball, college of all time. I'm not saying she's top. I will stand by that. She's not the best college women's basketball player of all time. In order for you to be the top best, I do think that you either need to win a championship or you need to basically double that score record, to be the top, to be the best. You know what I'm saying, Reese? But she's still great. She's going to go down as one of the greats. On February 15th, Iowa senior Caitlin Clark scored a career high and program record 49 points. This was a game, if y'all don't remember, this was a couple weeks ago, but it was after our last episode that we did, so we didn't cover it the last time we had a show. But she only had to score 6 points to break the record for all-time career points in women's basketball history. She only had to score 6. That was the big story going in the game. Not only did she break the all-time scoring record for her career, but she also broke the program's single game record of 49 points. And then, as well, she broke Kelsey Plum's record for the most career points in women's NCAA history. The 6-foot guard scored the breaking points on what else? A logo three-pointer from 30 feet. I mean, you talk about a player that, like, I don't care who you are. Like, if you don't turn on Caitlin Clark and you don't get excited to watch her play, like, you just don't like sports. Like, I just don't know what to tell you at that point. Clark has also scored or assisted on 79 points in that 106-89 victory, the most in any game by any Division I player over the last 25 seasons, according to ESPN stats and information. And the reigning National Player of the Year might not be done etching her name in the record books, because Caitlin Clark, could break, and in my opinion will break, Pete Maravich's mark of 3,667 career points for the most points in Division I history, men or women. And she could also pass Lynette Woodriard, who holds the AIAW major college record with 3,649 points, says just before the NCAA era. Clark also has already completed a bunch of milestones. I mean, you look at her points per game this year. She's averaging 32.1 points per game this season, and she's 51 points shy of breaking that record I just said, Pete Maravich. But for her career, just breaking down how great, yeah, that's right, J. Will, great she is. Here's what she's done. 53 30-point games. I got shocked just looking at it, including 16 in just this season. 16 30-point games in one season. And she's still not done. That's the most by a Division I player in the past 25 years. Also, 16 triple doubles, including 5 in just this season. That ranks second in D1 history behind who else? Sabrina Ionescu, who had 26 in her career, triple doubles. Also had that many threes in the 3-point contest.
Yeah.
Absolute go. But also, she has 30-point games. Cool. She also has 12 40-point games, including 4 in just this season. And that is the most by any D1 player in over the past 25 years. Here's the thing. I'm going to keep it real with you, Reese. Before this year, I did not follow women's college basketball like nearly at all. I'll be quite honest, or not even before this year. Let me rephrase that. Like 2 years ago, I didn't really follow it. I followed Auburn a little bit, but I didn't really follow it at all. I would just be quite honest with you. Because I'll also be honest with you, men's college basketball to me was more entertaining.
Yeah.
I enjoyed seeing it more. I wanted to see people dunk. But then I watch players like Caitlin Clark. I watch players like, I hate to, say it because you don't like her, but Angel Reese. I saw these players that are doing things that no other women's college basketball player have done in a while, at least. And it's just so entertaining to watch. I mean, Caitlin Clark shooting logo threes is one of the most exciting things to watch, at least right now, in the sports world. So, yes, she is great. It's not a debate. She will break Pete Maravich's record
Yes.
for all-time points, and that is something that is truly great. I mean, I guess J. Will can say Pete Maravich isn't great then, I guess, if he wants to. But no, Caitlin Clark is great. She is one of the greatest college athletes of all time. And I do think that she will prove J. Will wrong, not only by beating Pete Maravich's record, but by also winning a championship. Reese, what do you think about Caitlin Clark and her breaking the scoring record?
I think it's great, and it's great for the women's sport. And like you said, I do think she'll break that record. But obviously, she's gonna be a lock for number one. Like, I mean, there's no doubt.
Oh,
It's like,
100%.
yeah, it's like there's no doubt she won't be number one because also that'd be funny just to think like Aaliyah Boston, Caitlin Clark, and then Angel Reese on the same team in the WNBA. That'd be unstoppable.
Yeah. Uh,
But that,
here's the thing also. Not only has she done this, this amazing scoring feat, but like I said, she has brought more eyes than anybody I can remember in recent history to any sport. Nobody has done that more than Caitlin Clark, in my opinion. Like you were seeing, my moment for me was middle of last season. I started seeing clips, and they were saying on ESPN, it was saying Caitlin Clark hits half court three, and I saw it once. I was like, okay, cool, half court three, awesome. Half a blue, once every blue moon, somebody does that. Pretty cool. But I'm not gonna watch a whole nother sport for it. Then I kept seeing it. I saw it twice a week. I saw it 3 times a week. I saw it 8 times a month. It just kept increasing. And I was like, okay, who is this? And then I watched her in the NCAA tournament absolutely ball out. Like, that impact is just bigger than anything else, in my opinion.
yeah,
When you can be a polarizing figure for your sport and bring more eyes to it, yeah, that's just a whole nother thing. But yeah, we kind of got to go a little bit quicker here, trying to get our boy Caden Harvey onto the show. But what I have to say is, J. Will, respectfully, shut your mouth. Caitlin Clark
let a
is
naysayer know.
is a great player. I don't care what you said. Maybe you're upset that your basketball days are over and she's just entering her prime. But stop being salty, be a good analyst, and do your job. That's it for MMVP. Now let's go ahead and get into top 10. And we were discussing beforehand doing MLB, but is it cool with you if we save that till a future episode and just focus on college basketball today?
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right. So sorry, we're just very pressed for time. It's kind of been a weird day. We didn't know until beforehand. We'll go ahead and keep it tall with you, fans. We didn't know until like an hour ago that Taylor wasn't going to be on the show. So yeah, but let's go ahead and get into it with top 10.
Who's first, who's last, and who's in between? This is Top 10.
All right. We've done, I guess this is like what, the fifth college basketball top 10 that we've done?
Yeah, we've done a lot. So
Yeah.
also be
So,
sure. Sorry, but another shameless plug. I have to. Be sure you can catch these top tens on our top 10 graphic, which will be posted either Monday. No, it'll be posted Tuesday after the show. Yeah, you can catch them on our Instagram at the Tigers Den official. No caps, no spaces, no punctuation marks, all lowercase. Yeah, be sure you hit that up. We'll be posting top 10 graphics as well as hot takes. Just had to throw that in there. All right, Reese, go and take it away.
all right. Number 10, I have Illinois.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Illini.
Number
Yeah.
nine. Number 9 might seem a little biased, though.
Wait. Okay, what's number 9? Oh,
Auburn.
wait. Auburn.
God,
War
dude.
Eagle. Okay. Why
Um,
Auburn?
because, we blew out Georgia, and Georgia has had good crowds this season too, and like they have a very tough environment to play in, and Georgia is possibly a few more wins and they might be in the tournament. Like,
Yeah.
you never know. So that's a good win. It was our only game this week though.
Hey, them Tigers got a tough one coming up this week. So,
Yep. Tennessee might lose by
yep.
4 points, but it's okay. Um, and then number 8 is Kansas.
Okay.
Mm,
The Jayhawks,
number 7, I got North Carolina.
Hey, we agree. There we go.
I'm dying.
Me too. You can hear my voice.
Yeah.
So,
You turn you on.
sound like a squeaker toy. But, anyways, keep going.
And then number 6, I got Iowa State, the Cyclones. They've been having a good year. And then after UConn lost, I gotta put them at number 5 now.
Okay.
Nobody get blown out that bad.
Wait, you said UConn at 5?
Yeah, because they got blown out.
Okay.
And because Dan Hurley missed a freaking half court shot.
Okay. You know what? I'll let you vibe out. Vibe out, my dog.
All right. And then number 4, I got Tennessee.
Okay.
And then number 3, I got Arizona.
Wow, Arizona at 3. Okay.
Okay, no blood. Number two, I got Houston.
Okay.
And then obvious number 1 choice, Purdue.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say Grand Canyon, but
I was gonna be like Taylor.
gotcha. Yeah. Okay. Well, pretty good top 10 list. But I'm gonna go ahead and have to say the accurate one. But starting off number 10, I got Duke. Yes, they lost to Wake Forest. Yes, it's a tough loss. Will they ever win on the road again? I do not know.
That's why I didn't put them in there.
But here's the thing: are they one of the top 10 most talented teams in the country? Absolutely, they're probably top 5. They're Duke. Are they well coached? I do think so. John Shire, I believe, is a good coach. Do their players get injured after they get stormed on the court? Yes, they do. But I do feel like once they hit the tournament, this Duke team is going to cook. So give me them at 10. Number 9, I'm going to have to go with Iowa State. You had them a little bit higher. Kind of, caught me off guard. They did lose to Houston, last weekend, or in the middle of this week. And it was at Houston, so it was a close loss. But I just don't know. This Iowa State team, they're good. They have a great defense, stuff like that. But I just don't know about their consistency. That's my one question. The Cyclones, I just don't know what's going to happen when, we're not able to hit threes and we need to start playing small ball. I just don't know what's going to happen. Keyshawn Gilbert is a dog, their point guard. I saw him play at UNLV last year. He's a dog, but we'll see. We'll see with the Cyclones. I got him at 9. Number 8, I got Arizona. You had him at 3, which, I mean, your choice, I guess. But, Caleb Love, I'm going to say this, and a lot of people disagree with me. But I don't think Caleb Love is a great team player. What I
No.
mean by that, what I mean by that is, Caleb Love, yes, he's scoring 19.4 a game. Absolutely insane. Is he the best player on this Arizona team? Absolutely. Is he a top 20 player in the country? I think so. But does he make his team better? I actually don't know, because let's look at Caleb Love's stat line real quick. So 19.4 points a game. Everybody knows that. Absolutely spectacular. How many assists per game? 2.7 assists per game. As the point guard. So, shooting
The
guard.
Mavingo Young better.
So yeah, shooting guard, 2.7 points a game. Let's look at field goal percentage. Okay, field goal percentage. He scores a lot, but does he make them consistently? He's
No.
shooting 43.4%, which actually is better than I thought it would be. I'll be quite honest with you. He's has improved that, but he's also shooting 35.8 from 3. Um, you know, I just don't know. I watch Caleb Love play, and I think of that guy who, when you play pickup with him, he never wants to pass the ball, and I can relate to it because that guy is me. I never want to pass the ball. All I want to do is score, because I'm like that. But Caleb, I just don't know, because like I said, what's going to happen when, oh shoot, Caleb Love is missing all his shots, and now we got to rely on Buzelis, Tucelis, or whatever their other players' names are that they got from Austria. Lori Markkinen or something like that. But
Yeah.
give me Arizona at 8. Number 7, I got North Carolina. You didn't even have North Carolina. Wait, no, you did. This is the one we agreed on. Yeah, North Carolina's good. I mean, what else is there to say? They're good. They're experienced. I think they'll make a deep run. I don't see them. I don't see a way where they don't make it at least to the Sweet 16. But you never know. It's March. Now, is their ceiling as high as people hope or North Carolina fans would think? I don't know. I actually think this is one of the years where their floor is very high, but their ceiling is like, because we've seen this story over and over again. RJ Davis has been there forever. Armando Bacot has been there since sliced bread was invented. Like, I just don't know if they're going to be able to get over that hump, because this is honestly the last year you're going to do it, because RJ Davis is gone, Armando Bacot's gone. We'll just see. Number 6, I got Kansas. Kansas, yeah, they're good as well. You'll notice something. 3 of my first 5 have been Blue Bloods. Now, here's the thing. None of them are in my top 5. That's what's different about this year. Number 5, I got Marquette. Marquette is a team that did you even have Marquette in your top 10?
No.
Okay, so this is a team that just has floated under the radar. Like, do we not remember when this team beat Illinois, when they beat Kansas within the span of 1 week? They beat the brakes off Texas. They beat. Let's see their losses. Okay, they lost to Purdue by 3. Okay, they lost to Purdue by 3. They lost to Wisconsin, who hasn't been great recently. They lost to Seton Hall by 3. Lost to Butler by single digits, and then got blown out by UConn. Marquette, I think they're similar to Kansas. I mean, very high floor, but I don't know if they're going to be able to. I don't know if they're going to be able to make a run to the Final Four. I just don't know yet. But yeah, number 4, I got Tennessee. I feel like the Volunteers. Dalton Connect is basically Diet Luca in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Volunteers are really good. Give me them at 4. Number 3, I got Houston. I think this game against Baylor really showed that they're legit, that they can play. They can play with the big dogs. They can play. They can be at the big boys table. I do see them. I think right now I see them at least making it to the Elite Eight. This is a Houston team that can run all over the floor. Very good team. Number two, I got UConn. You dropped into fifth after they lost at Creighton, got blown out, which is fair. But UConn came back the next couple of days and they blew out Villanova 78-54. They also, let's not forget, literally last weekend, they beat Marquette 81-53. So I mean, UConn's still a really good team. I think they're one of the top teams. I think Houston, UConn, and Purdue have kind of separated themselves in their own bubble from every other team. So yeah, give me them at 2. Number 1, I got Purdue. I do think Purdue, when Zach Edey's able to get the ball, which is mostly all the time, I do think Purdue is by far the best team in the country. 100%. I mean, you got a giant like that. I do think he's gonna win the winning award again. But yeah, so Purdue at 1, and now let's get ready for prize picks. We're gonna get our boy Caden Harvey, who I'll introduce him after this quick intro for this segment. But let's go ahead and get him to join this call. Let's do this thing, baby.
Not sponsored by the app Prize Picks, it's time for Max's Prize Picks.
That's right, you heard the intro. It's time for the last segment of the day, and in my opinion, the best segment of the day. It's Prize Picks. We've been doing this since the show began. We're 17 episodes in, and this is the one segment that we do every episode. And we actually have a very special guest on for today's show. He currently works with SEC Network, and you'll actually see him at some of the university games holding the camera. Whenever you see yourself on the Jumbotron, he's the guy that's responsible for it. It's Caden Harvey, one of my mentors in high school who got me into this thing. Caden, how are you doing on this fine Sunday night?
Doing great, Max. That was a great introduction, not going to lie to you.
Thank you, man.
Really hyping me up.
I learned from the best. Man. But now our special guest standings for this week.
Oh, God.
We've so far, what'd you say, Reese?
I said, oh, God, hopefully nobody's like 2 and 4 again.
Well, here's the thing. So we've had 4 guest pickers on the show. Caden, one of them you know. So far, starting from the lowest to the highest, Connor Davis still sitting at the lowest, 1-4-1. That time we had the soccer game. Never again. Then Aiden Treadwell, he's 2-4. He went 2-4. Also, our buddy Grayson Stokes, who came on last minute, he went 2-4. And then our last special guest picker on last week's show, Patrick Bingham. He went. I told y'all he knew sports coming into it. He went 5-1. So Caden, that's a tough bar to beat, but I think you can do it. We'll see. But in terms of me, Reese, and Taylor, and already, as y'all know, Taylor could not be on the show today. Wasn't feeling well. I'll actually say his picks as we do it. But Taylor had the best again last time around. He went 5-1. Reese, you actually did better than me. You went 4-2.
Yeah, suck it.
Yeah, well, we're still tied in records, buddy, so don't get too hyped up. I'm 3-3. We actually have Taylor running away with it again. He is all-time 68-51-1. And then me and you, Reese, are tied at second, I guess you'd say, 65-54-1.
Only Cam Newton could have punched him.
Well, now we'll go ahead and get into our 6 games of the day. And we actually have a pretty diverse one today. We have 3 different sports in today's list. And we'll go ahead and get started with our first one. We're actually going to go to college softball. Coming up on, I think, Wednesday is number 9 Clemson, who's 11-2 to start the year. They're going on the road to face the Dogs. Number 3 Georgia Bulldogs, who are 12-1 on the year to start off. Very good, as always. We've already discussed it on the show. I'm kind of a college softball fanatic. I've been following the university team. My family has been season ticket holders since 2012 for the Auburn University team. I know how good Georgia is, and this game will be on Wednesday this week, upcoming at 4 p.m. on SEC Network Plus. Number 9 Clemson at number 3 Georgia, top 10 matchup. This is going to be a great game. I'm going to try and catch it after school. I got to go with Georgia. I know how good Clemson is. Auburn University last year, if you know, you know, we've lost to them in the regional at Clemson the last 2 years. And it's been tough. I don't really like Clemson, to be honest with you. I might actually, in softball, I like them less than the Dogs. And give me Georgia. Georgia's very good. They brought in some transfers that are, you know, some home run hitters. I feel like Georgia always leads the SEC in home runs. So give me the Dogs. I'm gonna say it's gonna be a high scoring game. I'm gonna say 8-6. Georgia wins by 2 runs. Caden, who you got winning this one?
I'm going to agree with you on this one. I think Georgia's going to win this game. They played earlier this year against Virginia Tech, which is a team that Auburn also played. Auburn went to extra innings with them and also tied the other game, so 0-1 against them. Virginia Tech beat Georgia once and then lost to Georgia once. I think Georgia's going to win this game, and I think this is going to be a good pitching outing. It's going to be midweek, so they can pitch whoever they want to. And, yeah, so I think Georgia's going to win this game 3-0.
3-0. All right. Reese, who you got?
All right, I'm gonna go with Georgia as well. I think they've beaten so many top 25 teams this year already. They're honestly, in my opinion, they're a sleeper team to make the College World Series for real.
Oh, yeah.
Like they,
I definitely think I could see them going to OKC this year for sure.
yeah. I say they win this game. I'm gonna say it's a hitting battle. I'm gonna say 10-7.
Yeah. I just remember I think a difference in this game will be that Clemson doesn't have that pitcher that they had the last 2 seasons. I forget her name, but yeah, really good pitcher. But yeah, that game will be at 4 p.m. on Wednesday on SEC Network Plus. You can catch that game. Should be great. Next up on our list, we got number 2 Ohio State, who's 24-3 and 15-1 in the Big Ten, and they're going on the road to face number 4 Iowa, who's 24-4 and 13-3 in the Big Ten. That's right. In women's basketball, I cannot wait for this game. This is going to be such a great game. I mean, we've already talked about Caitlin Clark, you know, breaking the scoring record, talking about her all on today's show. But she has to go up against an Ohio State team that has just burst onto the scene. I mean, nobody expected them to be bad coming into this season, but nobody expected them to be a number 1 seed. Towards the end of the year, or at least projected to be. But this game will be on Sunday, next Sunday at 12 p.m. on Fox. This is going to be packed house in Hawkeye Arena. I mean, Caitlin Clark's known for selling out crowds. This is a game that it would sell out even without Caitlin Clark, honestly. This is such a huge game, so many implications. And I already said it earlier in today's show, Iowa right now is my favorite to win it all. And I'm going to go with them winning at home against the Buckeyes. I think the Buckeyes are a deeper team than Iowa is. I think they can play, more players. And if Caitlin Clark's off, I mean, Iowa's usually off. But I feel like at home, I feel like the Hawkeyes will win it. I know they're also coming off a blowout loss to Indiana, which was very surprising. Indiana is a good team, though. I think they'll be in like the 4 or 5 seed area entering the tournament. But giving the Hawkeyes to bounce back in a big way, beating the number 2 Ohio State Buckeyes. Caden, who you got?
I agree with you on that one. I think Iowa's going to win. Caitlin Clark is sitting around 50 points away from the all-time scoring record.
Yeah, we discussed it earlier, yeah.
And so that is something that we could see. I know Caitlin's really good. I'm not sure she's getting 50, but I wouldn't put it past her. I think she's going to win they're going to win the game overall, just through her scoring ability and assist ability either way.
100%. Reese, who you got?
I'm gonna go with Iowa because I don't know if you remember, but when Caitlin Clark got knocked down that one time when the fans stormed the court, that was Ohio State.
No, yeah.
So there's some bad blood between these two teams, and I think Iowa's gonna win, and Caitlin Clark will score 50
Oh, wow.
to break the record, and Iowa will win 86-71.
I mean, she already put up 49 in a game this year. That would definitely help for them to win this game against the soaring Buckeyes. By the way, that game once again is at 12 p.m. this upcoming Sunday. Don't miss it on Fox. And also, Taylor's pick for the last one, he picked Georgia. He thinks they'll beat the Clemson Tigers. And for this one, he's also going to go with Iowa. And I forgot to say my score prediction. I'm going to say that Iowa wins this one. I do think it's going to be close. I'm going to say like 83 to like 77.
I also forgot my score prediction. I'm going to throw mine in real quick. They're going to score 90 points, and
90.
I think Ohio State's only getting about 75 in.
Oh, geez. Yeah, that would be a statement, especially for Iowa in a packed Big Ten, in a packed women's college basketball landscape. Don't miss that one on Sunday. But now we're going to go to some college. We're going to stay in the college realm. This time we're going to go to baseball. This upcoming Friday, a very intriguing matchup. It's not on a very intriguing streaming platform, however. But number 16, Texas, who's 6-1 to start the season, they're going on the road to Baton Rouge to face the LSU Tigers, who are number 3 right now and 7-1 to start off the season. This is a game that, LSU, I mean, last year coming off a year where they won the World Series. Obviously, you don't have Paul Skeens anymore, but you do have a lot of returning pieces. And, I mean, they're always going to have the power. I mean, they're LSU. So I'm going to have to say LSU at home in this one. I'm pretty sure it's on Friday. Hold up. Give me a second. Loading. Yes, it is on Friday on the Longhorn Network, which is kind of upsetting for me because I'm pretty sure you need like a subscription or something for that. Might got to get it, though, for this one. This is going to be a great one on Friday, and this game will be at 7 p.m. The Astros Foundation Classic. So I actually think it might be in Houston. But give me LSU. Enough of this side talk. LSU's going to make another run to Omaha, and I think it starts on Friday when they beat the Longhorns. And I don't think it'll be close, honestly. I think LSU will win 11-2, and it'll be in 5 innings. So or not in 5 innings. I'm sorry. I'm thinking softball. It'll be 11-2 by the end of 9. Caden, who you got?
Okay, so LSU and Texas both have some interesting losses this year. Texas lost one in 11 innings to San Diego, while LSU dropped one in 9 innings to Stony Brook. So that's their only losses on the season. It's been interesting. Both teams are going to be pitching their aces as they've got long weekends in front of them in Houston, playing a Minute Maid. I think LSU's still going to edge out, though. I don't think it's going to be as much of a blowout as you think. I'm going to give LSU a 7-4 victory.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Texas. Actually, I'm gonna go somewhere different here. I'm gonna say Texas wins 8-5 in 9 innings.
Okay, well that one is on Friday on at 7 p.m. on the Longhorn Network. Be sure you don't miss it. That one's going to be great. And then in the NBA, we actually have 2 on the list for this week for the NBA. And we're going to go ahead and get started with in-city rivalry between the Lakers and the Clippers on Wednesday. The Lakers coming in this game are 31-28, but they're only 11-19 when playing away, while the Clippers are 37-18 and 20-6 when playing at home. Obviously, this one isn't really a home or away game because they play at the same home arena. But, this is a game that I'm looking forward to. I think it'll be good. Right now, ESPN predicts that the Clippers will win 68.7%. There's no betting lines for this game, not that I can find right now. One thing to watch, though, for this game, not even to watch, it's determined that he's not going to play. Paul George is going to be out for this game. Even though their estimated return date, this is interesting. His estimated return date is February 28th, which is the day of the game this Wednesday. So that'll be something to watch. PG-13 out for the game. And then on the Lakers side, Colin Castleton, Cam Reddish, and Christian Wood, I mean, that's not really Cam Reddish might be returning after he's been out for a while because it says that he's been graded to day-to-day, upgraded to day-to-day, and his return date is February 28th. But I'm not going to lie. I've kind of been picking the favorite to win every game so far on our prize picks, but I'm not going to lie. I had to go with it again. The Clippers have been on a tear recently since making that trade for James Harden. They have boosted their chances for making the playoffs. And honestly, whenever those three are healthy, I really can't go against them. I'm not going to lie. And you got Russell Westbrook. Yes, obviously, they're all basically past their prime except for maybe Kawhi and maybe Paul George on the right night. But give me the Clippers to beat the Lakers at home. Even without Paul George, I think they're better than the Lakers. And so I think the Clippers are going to win. And I think it's going to be 116 to 111.
Interesting picks there. Okay, so I believe I originally was going to pick the Clippers. I don't want to follow Max all night, though, so I'm going to switch it up a little bit. I'm going to go Lakers. The Lakers do have some injuries, but a Paul George injury means more than a Cam Reddish.
Yeah.
So, and I believe that when they're playing in Los Angeles is the Lakers' town. Although they share the arena, it's not really ever a Clippers home game if they're both playing there. Even if it's supposed
I've
to be
never seen a
home game.
Clippers fan. I've never seen a Clippers fan in my life.
Yeah, that's
So I'm going to give the edge to the Lakers here. I think LeBron's going to have a good game. And, I mean, obviously. And so, yeah, I'll give the Lakers winning 122 to 112.
I'm going with the Lakers. LeBron will have my kids.
Okay, bro.
And the Lakers are going to win. I'm going to say 110 to 95.
Dang. All right, low scoring from Reese there. But 9 p.m. on ESPN. Don't miss that game. That one will be very fun to
I'm going to
watch.
take LeBron.
And then next, we got another NBA game. My voice is going by the second, so we're going to try and get through this. We got two more on the list. This one is actually – I want to do this because this is actually a rematch of last year's finals matchup. That's right. It's the Heat at the Nuggets. The Miami Heat coming into this game are 31-25 and 16-12 when playing away, while the Denver Nuggets are 39-19 and 22-5 at home.
Look it out.
Denver. This game is at 9 p.m. on TNT. According to ESPN Analytics, they think that the Denver Nuggets will win 65.6%. Looking at injuries, the Heat got a bunch. Tyler Hero, starting out with him, he's day-to-day, so he possibly could return. He's most likely going to return. His estimated return date is February 26th, so tomorrow. This game's on Thursday. He most likely will be there, same as Terry Rozier. But by the off chance that they're not there, I mean, it's not going to do anything to help the Heat chances. While the Nuggets' only injured player is Hunter Tyson. I don't even know who that is. The only Tyson I know is the Chicken Nuggets. But he's expected to return also on Wednesday.
He's the founder.
But let me go with I've been going with the predicted team to win every time, but I'm gonna go with the Nuggets here. Honestly, I think that Denver, that home arena playing at that height, it's always been a problem. It's been very well documented that players literally run out of breath faster when they're playing in Ball Arena. So give me the Nuggets at home beating the Heat. I'm going to say this one is actually going to be lower scoring, I think. I think it will be 101 to 92.
Okay, I'm going to preface my pick real quick with the fact that I am a diehard Miami Heat fan.
I remember that. Yeah.
Diehard Miami Heat fan. Injuries are going to hurt us. We're also in the middle of a West Coast road swing that started with the Pelicans. Got the Kings and Trailblazers the next 2 days, as well as the Nuggets on Thursday. It's not looking good for the Heat to win this game, but you have me damned if you think I'm not picking the Miami Heat to win this basketball game. I hope we beat them by 100. I hope we beat them by 1,000. My actual pick, I'll take us 106 to 102.
I'm gonna go with the Nuggets because the Heat have way too many people out. I don't know, Max. Did you say Jimmy Butler was out?
No, Jimmy Butler's good.
I thought he got suspended.
He's suspended for one game.
But they have a game on
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
They have two more games before they play the Nuggets.
Okay, so then they're good. I do think injuries though will really hurt the Heat, and I'm gonna take the Nuggets, but I'm gonna take them in a close one. I'm gonna say 111 to 105.
Once again, that game is on 9 p.m. on Thursday. Be sure to catch that one, late night game. Now we're going to move to the last game, and we're all fans of a team in this matchup, and this is one that if we win, I mean, it would make my week, honestly. It's Auburn at Tennessee, college basketball. Yeah, I mean, I really don't have to explain how huge this game is for both these teams. But Auburn is 14th in the country coming in this game. Obviously, AP polls going to come out in coming days before this game. But right now, it stands at Auburn being ranked 14th, Tennessee 5th. Both these teams are 21-6. Tennessee is one game ahead of Auburn in the SEC standings, 11-3, while Auburn is 10-4 in the SEC. Right now, Tennessee is favored to win this game according to ESPN, 67.4%. This game will be played in Knoxville. Yeah, I mean, if Auburn wants to make a statement, this is how you do it. I mean, you have to beat the man to be the man. You got to beat the Volunteers at in Knoxville. Dalton Connect, I mean, he's a star. He's going to be a star in the NBA. Auburn's going to have to stop him. But like you said for the Heat, you'll be damned if I don't pick the Auburn Tigers in one of their biggest games, if not their biggest game of the year so far. Give me the Tigers on the road. I think Janai Broom will have a field day. I think CBM, a.k.a. Chad Maker Mazzara, needs to start again because after what I saw against Georgia, I think that man might be one of the best scorers, if not the best scorer on our team. I think Aiden Holloway is starting to get back on his footing after he had a little stretch there where he was playing terrible. Like, let's just be honest. But I think he'll hit a couple threes. Yeah, I think everybody will play a good game. We'll band together and we'll win this game. I'll say 85-78. Let's go Tigers.
All right, so I'm going to jump in. This game is huge for the SEC regular season champion race. Whoever wins this game really has the best chance of making it. So Alabama still has to play Kentucky and Tennessee again.
Yeah.
So Auburn winning this game would be huge for them to have a chance at getting at least a share. But on top of that, we also don't know what Jalen Williams is going to be up to. We don't know if he's hurt. We don't know if he'll ever be able to come back or be able to come back in the regular season at least.
So from what I've heard, just quickly stepping in, from what I've heard from Jalen Williams is that they're going to recheck, like reevaluate next weekend, so next Saturday. So he is not going to be at this game 100%. So,
and honestly, I love Jalen Williams, but the way that the rotations worked last night, yesterday for the Auburn game at Georgia was incredible. The switch up in the starting lineup really ignited this team. Having Chad Baker Mazzara and Chaney Johnson starting, Chris Moore needed to come off the bench. It's just needed to be said.
Yeah, I thought it was, yeah.
But yeah, I think that Tennessee is a great team. Tennessee is really good. They've got the home court advantage. But if Auburn can get in that rhythm with Aiden Holloway making shots, Chad Baker Mazzara taking over when he needs to, as well as Janai Broom, this game is going to be hard to win for Tennessee despite being at home. I like Auburn. I'm going to give Auburn a 82-71 victory.
Well, I don't want to be too biased here, but I do think it'd be close because at Tennessee. I think this is going to come down to a 2 to 3 point game. And I'm gonna have to go with Auburn winning. And I'm gonna have to say they're gonna win on a buzzer beater.
Okay. I mean, if it comes down to that, I mean, I might have a heart attack. We'll see what happens. But that game is on Wednesday at 6 p.m. on ESPN2. By the way, for Taylor, like I said, he's going to take Georgia softball. He's going to take Iowa basketball. He's actually going to take Texas to upset LSU. He's going to take the Clippers, the Nuggets, and then he's actually going to take Tennessee. But that's going to do it from the Tigers Den podcast. Episode 17 is in the books. We hope y'all enjoyed. Be sure to, keep listening to this podcast. Be sure to rate it 5 stars on Spotify, Apple Music, wherever you get your podcast. Be sure to also follow us on Instagram at the Tigers Den official. No caps, no spaces, no punctuation marks. But from us here at the Tigers Den and AHS Mass Media, as well as a very special thanks to our guest picker, Caden Harvey. We hope y'all enjoy your week, and we can't wait to see y'all next week. We're gone.
Thanks for listening to this week's edition of the Tigers Den podcast. New episodes dropping every Monday at 3:30 p.m. Central. Also be sure to check out our other podcast, Play Callers, where we interview a coach from Auburn High School football. Be sure to check out those episodes dropping every Tuesday at 3:30 p.m. Central on all platforms.